Hey guys, so unless you've been living under a rock recently, you've seen this person. Basically, this is someone on G4, the gaming uh, channel. Used to be big back in the day, Attack of the Show and X-Play and Cheat and Filter. I think the Man Show was on G4 at one point. Cinematech. That was on there. Just a bunch of cool shows. You had Adam Sessler and Morgan Webb with X-Play, Kevin Pereira and Olivia Munn on Attack of the Show. Filter was Diane Mizota. You had Kristen Holt with Cheat. So it was a great lineup of shows, and it was gaming. Each one of them pushed boundaries and raunchy and kind of that kind of humor to video game reviews and whatnot. But that's done. That's not the G4 that we used to know. Nowadays, it's run and hosted by people like this. The typical septum piercing, prefers to dress like a dude, the I hate Donald Trump tweets, Republicans are bad, and men are racist and sexist, and blah, 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 blah. So she goes on this rant about sexism in gaming, which, I hate to break it to you, sweetheart, sexism is everywhere. And it's not just a one-way street. Men are objectified just as much, but it's perfectly fine when men are objectified. How many times have you seen in movies about, a girl's, ooh, look at him. Guy takes off his shirt and ooh. Where guys will be portrayed and, in movies, and they'll just take their shirts off or anything just for the pleasure of women. Men can be just as objectified. But no, men are supposed to be just shut up about it. Just the way men have depression, men are just supposed to fucking deal with it. If men are suffering abuse, they're just fucking meant to deal with it because it's not treated as, the same as with a woman. So sexism goes both ways. But this person, thing, it, them, they, zim, zer, I don't fucking know. I don't fucking care. Wants to go off and say stuff about Olivia Munn and Morgan Webb. Oh, they didn't exist. For the appeal and for the eyes of people. But if you remember Olivia Munn on Attack of the Show, so let's Olivia Munn was literally there to deep throat hot dogs. Yes, this is something they did on Attack of the Show. There's Olivia Munn right there. Gorgeous. She doesn't look the same. A lot of plastic surgeries. Attack of the Show. Now, people can say, oh, they were young. She wasn't that young. These people are what? Pushing 40 now? So they were already in their late 20s when they were doing Attack of the Show and X-Play and all that. So you can't say, oh, they were young, they were stupid, they were this. No. They knew what they were doing. She knew damn fucking well that men would possibly be to her. There's another one. Oh yeah, here we go. Morgan Webb and Olivia Munn did not exist to be nice on the eyes for you. Olivia Munn with the hot dog. Got Morgan Webb. This was 2004. I mean, I loved watching X-Play, and someone made a comment in one of these saying that even if Morgan Webb and Olivia Munn, and you could say Diane Mizota and Kristen Holt, even if they were average looking or ugly, they still had personality. She was funny as hell. She was funny as hell. So even if they were what people would consider decent or less than decent, people would still watch them. They weren't preaching to you. They weren't screaming in your face about how the color of your skin makes you evil or how your gender makes you evil or fuck Orange Man bad, or any of that bullcrap. They talked about games. Well, Morgan did. The Attack of the Show is kind of like a multi-type thing. But here, we've got a person you would see nowadays who is just ruining TV, music, comics, everything. The septum piercing, well, I don't want to look like a traditional woman because that's, fucking gendered, stereotype, and all that other bullshit. Maybe it's not the fact that they're saying that she's less. She said something about people saying that she's less bangable. Maybe it's not the fact that you're less bangable. Maybe it's the fact that you're just a terrible human being. It's like they said, you can always throw a bag over your head or do it from behind. Everyone looks the same from behind. So I don't think her being less bangable. But if she's going to sit here on G4, something that talks about video games and goes off on a rant about sexism, maybe the way you look isn't the problem here. Maybe it's you. These girls knew what they were. Oh, here's another one. Remember when Olivia Munn had a segment about the magazine available on newsstands called Olivia's Rack? Every time G4 is brought up in various channels, without a doubt, there will be backlash because I'm not as bangable as the previous host. Gorgeous, gorgeous, does everything possible to look as ugly as possible. Because, fuck the patriarchy or some bullshit. They hired Olivia Munn for a specific reason, and we all know it wasn't her gaming knowledge. G4 sexism of Olivia Munn. Why would gamers do this? Yeah, and you gotta think about that. Oh shit, here we go again. G4 is the one hiring these people, back then. They were the one who hired Olivia Munn and Morgan Webb. So they would be the sexist ones and not the viewers. Sorry, they're just so damn bangable. I'm just so tired of this shit. That's why I don't watch TV anymore. And it's not like G4 is out here making great numbers. So their YouTube channel. The YouTube channel, less than 500K subscribers. You look at their numbers, some of them 12K. So for something that used to be a huge gaming channel on TV that got pretty good views, this is pretty dismal and a complete downgrade from what it used to be. So this is on YouTube, about 400, just shy of 500K. We've got Twitch, which is even worse, 130K. And then we have cable and streaming, but those won't show anything. Did they ever, like I said, did she ever stop and think that maybe she's the issue? It's always people like that who are always the ones who are screaming racism, fuck Trump, fuck Republicans. They're always the worst people. And it doesn't matter how attractive you are or not attractive. If you're going to sit there and start preaching to people as they're watching something about video games, maybe it's you. Maybe it's you. And people are just tired of it. We're tired of being preached to. I hear Sam trying to get in. We're tired of it. Video games, comic books, movies, TV shows, everything is being taken over by people like this who complain about my sexism, my racisms, you people are Nazis, fuck Donald Trump, fuck Republicans, I don't want them as my fans. Okay. I mean, 74 million people voted for the guy, so, I mean, obviously not all of them play video games, but 74 million, you can imagine a good chunk. No level loss here. We don't want to support people who are constantly going to fucking preach to us and complain to us and tell us that we're bad and evil because we're men or positions that you put yourself in. You know, it's like Olivia Munn after a while. It's, you know, she eventually became one of them as well. You know, these people, you know, actresses, same thing. I talked about this before about like porn stars. Like, oh, I'm objectified by men. You get fucked on camera for a living. You don't exactly have a place to complain about being objectified. You objectified yourself when you said yes to getting fucked on camera. G4 technically would be the problem since they're the ones who hired these people, knowing full well that men would be tuning into them for, well, you know, two good reasons that I can see, at least on Olivia. So, and people were like, we've gone through the comments. And, you know, most of the comments for her are, oh my God, slay queen, this and that, you know, the typical simpy type comments. They said, of course, there's going to be some comments, but they're letting one or two comments about, oh man, I wouldn't fuck her. You're seriously going to get mad about some fucking random dude on the internet like, oh man, she's not as fuckable as Olivia Munn or Morgan Webb. Come on, come the fuck on. This chick is how old? Actually, let's look it up. So I looked for a little bit, couldn't find any definitive about her age or anything, but of course went to her Twitter profile, thought maybe it might be in there, but no, her pronouns are there though. So she goes by she, her. I also found this article on esports saying that she delivers brutal takedown of gamers' sexist expectations on G4's X-Play. It delivered a brutal takedown. Yeah, all the men were just like, oh, she's so brutal. Oh man, oh jeez. A gamer bro culture on G4's X-Play. Yeah, that's what X-Play is now. Calling out the objectification of hosts and more. Indiana Black, formerly a League of Legends caster, and now one of the main talents at the revived G4, has delivered a brutal takedown. God, take a fucking drink every time I've had to say brutal takedown. Takedown of male gamer culture. So again, it's only males, right? Because women never objectify men. In it, she criticizes the tendency of guys to note how hot hosts are and the trend of discounting female opinions on video games. Maybe yours. Maybe yours. Go on YouTube. Do these people even YouTube, bro? Go on YouTube. You will find more than enough female gamers on YouTube who review things that people have more than enough respect for. And they'll either review games or like old stuff, like old games, like, you know, beta development stuff or stuff. So this whole concept that the left has that, or at least these people have, that men don't take female gamers seriously is fucking stupid. It's like people when they talk about World of Warcraft or something like that, like, oh, all the women are being harassed. No, they're not. No, they're not. In fact, unless you're chatting with someone in voice, you don't know who's actually a female and who's not. Just because you play a female blood elf doesn't mean you're actually a female. I have a female blood elf called Seduction. I know plenty of people who have female avatar, female characters in the game. I know many females who have male avatars in the game. That's why it's fantasy. So these people, once again, like I said, she's taking like one or two comments that she might have gotten, and she's like, oh, all of toxic gaming, oh, men are just disgusting, all of these men, no, doesn't work like that. Like I said, is there sexism? Of course, but it goes both ways. Like this person, I mean, assuming they're into men, like this person has never looked at a male on TV and objectified him. Come on. Come the fuck on. Look at stuff like in, hell, fucking even Twilight. They even fucking pointed out, it's like, does he ever wear a shirt? Because every time we see Jacob, he's got a fucking shirt off. Men can be objectified too, but you don't hear them fucking bitching about it. No, it's always these fucking septum pierced, I like to dress like a fucking dude, people complaining about it. The whole thing is well worth a watch just to hear how passionately she defends these points. But we've taken the liberty of transcribing the whole thing here for your reading pleasure. In joining G4, I was ecstatic to be part of something I grew up watching as a child. But every time G4 is brought up in various channels, without a doubt there will be backlash because I'm not as bangable as the previous host. It has somehow been expected. Okay, I'm not doing that one anymore. Expected that you can talk about how much you jerked off to women as a compliment. It's not a compliment. It's dehumanizing. And it's weird. Morgan Webb and Olivia Munn did not exist to be nice on the eyes for you. Actually, I don't want to actually go down because there was a picture or a video of someone, someone's, yeah, and let's hang on. Okay. G4. Olivia Munn wasn't on G4 to be nice on the eyes. Olivia Munn on G4. So people say, oh, she has good points, but the points that she's trying to are backfiring on her because this is what G4 hired. They hired her for this reason. Hardly was she ever covered up. She was always wearing something like this. Can't imagine why. It's like Morgan Webb. She was a very busty woman, so even covered up, most of the time she was wearing very tight shirts. Can't imagine why. Well, I could think of two reasons. So they had the idea that, oh yeah, we have sexy, attractive hosts in decent outfits, we're gonna get more views. And they were right. So if anyone's sexist and dehumanizing towards women, it would be G4. But they're rectifying that situation by making the people hosting as fucking nasty and ugly as possible. Maybe not on the outside, but definitely on the inside. No one wants to be around this woman because she is a bad human being. Maybe it's not the fact that you're less bangable physically. Sometimes what makes a dude want to bang girl is the personality. Like, wow, she is a really cool girl. You know? Olivia Munn. Fun person to have on Attack of the Show. Morgan Webb was incredibly fun on the days where Adam wasn't there. She was able to carry the show just fine. She was fun. She sounded like, I mean, they couldn't, obviously they're reading from scripts or whatever, but at least sounded like they knew what they were talking about. She was fun to watch. But you can't sit there and say that it was the viewers who were being the sexist ones. You know?
Jake, Zipper, Gabby.
Hey. Actually, we're gonna watch that one real fast. It's actually, I think the quartering used this one, so.
Sexism in gaming.
Here we go again.
Morgan Webb, Olivia Munn did not exist to be nice on the eyes for you. Ah, crap! Just roll it. Sexism. Objectify women, hate women, sexist. Sexism, woman. Half of our producers and writers are women. Emily, Abby, Megan, Joe, Jake, Zipper, Gabby. If you don't like it, don't watch it. Peace.
Is this Saturday?
And then they go to that foolproof plan of, if you don't like it, don't watch it. Okay. And then when you get removed as host because G4 and X-Play's ratings are going down because no one's watching, we'll know who to blame, won't we? Why do they think that men don't hate women? Men hate women who are like this, who are fucking preachy, who are constantly this is the one who complains about everything. This is the one who will say that men are sexist and misogynistic. This is the one that's saying that women are oppressed, despite the fact that she was one of the few, commentators in esports. She's fucking hosting X-Play, but women are totally oppressed. She's the one that ruins it for everyone else. So maybe it's not the fact that you're not bangable. Yes, people will make those kinds of comments. Most of them are just being stupid and just trolling. Maybe it's the fact that you're just a terrible human being. Now, I'm not too familiar with Morgan's politics and all of this, because quite frankly, she stays quiet, it seems. Adam Sessler, however, is constantly ranting about fucking Republicans, and his latest one saying, oh, Republicans are racist and they drink piss and all that. Just constant Republican bashing. We got this woman with our traditional, orange man bad. I don't want Republicans as fans. These are the kind of people working in video games and comics and TV shows and movies. And yes, this is dealing with politics, but it's also dealing with video games, which is kind of my territory as well. Not to mention, I grew up, well, I shouldn't say grew up. This was like the mid-2000s. So it was middle school, high school, mainly high school, that I was watching G4 and watching Attack the Show and X-Play and Cinematech and all those other shows on there. So it's we're just tired of people like her, the Kool-Aid haired or septum pierced or the, fuck the patriarchy, I'm gonna dress like this to be unattractive as possible. We're just tired of it. We're tired of the screeching and the reeing and the complaining that you lot are doing about this my sexisms, when it's only like 1 or 2 comments that you're getting talking about it. What's the expression? Making a mountain out of a molehill. Yeah, they're taking like 1 or 2 things, like this, and they're just expanding it to make it seem like it's so much worse than it really is. We all get comments that we don't appreciate. Men, for the most part, just suck it up. One, because men are treated differently, and we're supposed to suck it up because we're men, apparently. So we can't complain about stuff. I mean, how many times have I been called a neckbeard, or, oh, you live in your mom's basement, or been like a fucking virgin, or some other stupid comment? I'm not gonna fucking go and sit there and cry like a little bitch and blame like the entirety of the opposite gender, if it's coming from them. I'm not gonna blame a whole community. I'm gonna get the fuck over it and go on with my life. But no, these people are constantly looking for attention. I got 1 or 2 bad comments saying that I'm the thing of on the other host. Oh man, we're just tired of it. We are just tired of these fucking people ruining everything. G4 is for video games. It is not a platform for you to bitch about my sexisms. Or, I mean, this is what I've seen just recently. I mean, they could be talking about, oh, Orange Man bad. I don't know. I don't watch G4 anymore. But this is the state of media now. TV, movie, video games, comic books, you name it, it is being run by people like that. People like her. And then when everything backfires on them, misogyny and sexism and racism and all of this crap, when they never turn that backwards and say, oh gee, maybe it's me and my terrible personality. They never let that pendulum swing back the other way. They're always constantly pushing it one way because they're afraid of what'll happen if they swing that pendulum the other way and actually look in on themselves and say, maybe it's not the other people who are the problem here. Maybe it is me. Maybe because I have a nasty fucking personality. But what do I know? I'm just a fat, white, cis male. Much sexism. But man, those two are so fucking bangable, though. I'm kidding. I mean, they're very attractive, yes. Well, maybe not Olivia Munn anymore. Like I said, a lot of plastic surgery, apparently. But they were fun. Like you said, they were fun. There were times where, like I said, Morgan had to host the show alone, and she did just fine. She has a fun personality. Interviews, you see her, she had a fun personality. Olivia Munn, same thing, had a fun personality, like the kind of person you chat with and not get preached to. But now we have Kool-Aid haired, septum piercing, and more, and Adam Sessler, who likes to complain about Republicans. G4, am I right? Anyways, you guys know the drill. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.